Did you ever wonder how EU5 would look like if Paradox decided to change the start date to 1444? We can be pretty sure this will never be a start date for EU5. Maybe at one point they're gonna add a second start date on top of 1337, like 1453, 1490, something, or even 1500s. On one of the DLCs in the future, just like they did for the Crusader Kings, but for now we are stuck with 1337. Various opinions about it, I will not discuss it today. Today I would like to show you a mod that is actually introducing a 1444 start date. It is a very simple mod at this point, as it pretty much changes borders and technologies. And that's pretty much it, plus some minor other changes. You'll see, for example, that Poland is ruled by the Piasts. Everyone has their starting rulers, so there's not that much done on that side yet. It's obviously a very fresh mod. But yeah, you see how it looks like. You also notice that for nations that in EU4 had like autonomy in specific areas, like Karakuyunu, you see they will be having more subjects, or like Lithuania here. So it is using a bit more of an EU5 system in some of the borders. Obviously, there's also no specific situations for that mod. This mod has huge potential for the future, obviously depending how many people will be developing it. Like, for example, this is also much simpler. I think they approached uncolonized lands to just keep it as it is in the EU5 start date and not change it for now. So wherever they could put new nations, they did. Wherever they couldn't, they didn't. So I will be showing you right now a time lapse on a very huge speed, just another 2-3 minutes from now, so you can take a look how AIs only will behave in the next 400 years, and then we can together discuss how it worked. Starting with Europe, you see that France got obliterated. There's no France anymore, but we've got a strong Burgundy with plenty of vassal swarm in the HRA. We've got an Uno reverse with Aragon. It did not get eaten by France, but they did eat France. Obviously, Great Britain is probably the strongest country that caused this situation to happen. And in case you're wondering why Ireland is not in their hands, it is because it is their tributary. It happens so often that they make Ireland a tributary. Germany definitely, the HR definitely did die way too fast, and that's over a problem with the current patch. But we've got a big Bohemia, and there's also a big Venice, which is also rather rare in EU5, but here obviously Venice starts much bigger. Naples and Papal State, they should figure out between the two of them. It's not a yin and yang. They should figure out who expands where and kill the borders. Ottomans, even though they are much bigger than in EU5, they still failed to survive the Mamluks, and here they did not even conquer the Byzantine Empire. Yes, Poland died, but if you look at the dynasty map mode, you will see that it is still living in the Europeans' hearts, as they are ruling not only Bohemia, but also Castile. Wielki Novgorod expanded into Scandinavia, while Moscow expanded into Russia overall and pushed east with the colonization. In case you were wondering why Moscow didn't form Russia, well, they have enough provinces to form it, but they don't have Novgorod. And this is because these two guys are best friends. Maybe that's why they didn't die to Lithuania and other nations, but maybe they just blocked themselves doing so. Also, interestingly, yeah, Golden North is not eaten because it is a tributary of Moscow. Timurids annexed all the subjects and survived. At one point, they were much bigger than here even, right? They were doing nicely, but then their expansion collapsed. I think the expansion collapsed actually when they started annexing their subjects. Big Georgia, that's happy to see this. India is pretty much all in hands of Vijay. Obviously, 3 strong countries in the north of Delhi, Jaunpur and Bengal. Look, these guys have 20 million people, these guys have 21 million people, these guys have 20 million people. Vijay itself has 50 million. Farther east, we've got Ming that survived. It had plenty of problems, but they are still here. Korea actually doing nicely, and they expanded into Japan that got united by Miyamoto. Okay, how about colonization? Colonization is pretty much split between the 3 countries. You see by the culture map mode that was Pope colonizing all this. We've got plenty of Castile, all of this land's colonized. We've got Naples here and here. We've got a bit of Norway, huge amount of England, and a bit of Naples in here. As for Africa, we've got Aragon colonized, we've got Venice, again Pope, and even Czechs deciding that, yeah, Cape is Bohemian. If you look at the great powers, you'll see that number 1 is Vijay, number 2 is, I believe, Ming, number 2 is Ming, on number 3 we are having the Mamluks, on number 4 I believe Timurid, now the number 4 is Japan actually, number 5 Bohemia, we also have got Jaunpur, Timurids and Great Britain on the list. But actually the last great power is Bohemia, the rest are just not as strong. Income wise also Vijay, but Hungary is doing really great and we've got plenty of Asians. Population wise obviously Ming and India. For Europeans the biggest one is Hungary with 18 million, but of course we also have Bohemia, Great Britain, Moscow. The education center of the world is obviously in Hungary. I hope you did not think about any other place, and Balkans got balkanized and they don't look good at this aspect. I'm really wondering what's going on with China. That's another time that's when we see China being AFK. Look, they did build some roads, but not much. It really feels like that these roads were only built by the burghers and the country didn't do anything themselves. Look, proximity, it looks like it's from the 15th century, like compared to these guys, for example, and their control, or compared to Russia, or compared to like Europeans, it's clear who was AFK and who was not. I think Reformation barely happened. I mean, we've got a bit of Calvinist and we've got one country that is Lutheran, and outside of that, no religion changes in Europe. And remove one, you see, that's another change that wasn't done. Lithuania was remove one and they kept it. Anyway, that was, just a quick play around with how this mod works. It definitely has great potential, but it's a very basic one. If you remember early EU4 dates, that's also how extended timeline worked back then. We were just like very basic changes like just borders, but over time they started features actually impacting different ages, new technologies, new units, etc. We're definitely gonna expect it here, so if you want to follow this mod, make sure to check the video description if you want to check it out. For today, thanks for watching and I'm gonna see you soon.